Here we are at the University Campus Suffolk, and I've got a colleague here with me that's going to talk about some of the issues and behaviours that young people are exhibiting online in further education institutions. Thank you very much for coming along today and giving up your time to speak to us. I think there'll be a lot of teachers and welfare managers like yourself, people interested in young people, children's welfare, and really concerned about some of the behaviours that we're seeing in online environments. And we both know that the internet's a great place. It's a great place for young people to do their homework, to do their research. We have the greatest respect for that, but we also know that there are some young people that are taking risks online. And because of our maturity, perhaps we're more concerned about these behaviours online. And as a welfare manager, can you just sort of tell me a little bit about some of the behaviours that you are a little concerned about, that some of the young people may have presented to you?
Okay, I think one of the most difficult that we've recently been dealing with is self-harming online. Things like loading pictures up to Facebook, accessing inappropriate sites where self-harm is actually encouraged, and then making sure that other people are kind of brought in to that world and encouraged to self-harm as well.
So the young people are getting hints and tips on online environments, and then they're actually going ahead and doing some self-harm, but also videoing it themselves and posting it online?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So that's a huge concern.
It's a massive concern, because the sites in particular tell young people how to be more effective in their cutting.
Do they?
And the things that are being loaded up are really graphic, really detailed, and really very unpleasant.
Okay, so that's quite shocking. To me, that's shocking, and I'm guessing that people like yourself, you're a welfare manager in an FE institution, people like yourself and others who are watching this, you may be a parent, you may be a school nurse.
Absolutely.
You may be in a position like yourself, you may be a friend of someone who's doing things like this, or you may be a self-harmer yourself. And actually, to go on and see these images is actually quite shocking. And also to have those hints and tips about how to do it. Is it the sort of, is it where to do it so people can't see?
Yes, there's some of that. And also just showing other people what that young person's pain is as well, and what they're doing to themselves and how it makes them feel better. But that's not a good strategy. There are many others which would be a lot more supportive.
Yeah, and tell us, Sarah, Louise, if you have any advice to give to parents or to carers, school nurses, young people themselves, what advice would you give?
I think I would say that it needs to be picked up and it needs to be dealt with really early on, so that we don't get to this type of level. There are lots of support agencies out there that would offer anything from CBT counselling to talking generally about how the young person feels or why they're doing it. So I would always say to make a referral. Obviously in college we have welfare departments. In school there will be a pastoral lead that you could talk to, and a referral could be made, and that referral could be, locally it would be Suffolk and Norfolk Wellbeing Service, who would offer CBT, or it could be into CAMS, or to the local GP. Any of those things would all support the young person, because the sooner that self-harm is nipped into the bud, the sooner you get your young person back.
Absolutely. And so what's happening in the real world is actually impacting on what we're showing in the virtual world, but there's help in the real world that we can go to. But we have to be very careful that there's content online which actually may exacerbate the situation rather than help. And I'm guessing there's some self-help groups in online environments as well.
I would think there would be. I think there's nothing quite like having one-to-one, face-to-face calls, which is what we would recommend. And in college we've had to take this extremely seriously. We have a lot of young people who are self-harming and increasing in their tendencies to be worse self-harmers, if you like. So we've actually had to put a policy together which actually takes young people through the disciplinary procedure in college in order to support them accessing treatment, because carrots don't always work. A stick, unfortunately, does work very effectively. And if you could imagine, even if we talk just from a resource point of view, we have some of our young people accessing first aid 15, 18 times in 1 week. And making it a joke, which of course it isn't. So in order to stop that, to make it very clear that this is an issue that needs to be dealt with through therapy, we take our young people through disciplinary.
Yeah, so you've put policies in place, as well as the soft touch
Absolutely.
and the welfare and the help and support. You're actually saying, look, you know, we need to put this into disciplinary now in order for you to realise the seriousness of it and then seek support. So parents, there's help sites for parents as well, or information?
There will certainly be lots of information online. In my own department we keep lots of leaflets and can point people in the direction of some support. And we'd be very happy to talk to parents at any point in order to support their young person.
This is a really difficult subject to talk about, and if you are a parent or a young person yourself who is self-harming or knows somebody who is self-harming, this is something that we shouldn't keep quiet, is it?
Not at all. I think the trouble is when you're a parent, you're looking in isolation. I'm a parent too, I've got 2 boys of my own. But you tend to think it's only happening to you, and self-harm is a major problem in high schools and in colleges, so it's really nothing you need to hide or worry about, because there will be support there.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for coming in to speak to us today. And if we've spread the word a little bit about something that's difficult to talk about, something that's difficult to bring up, and something that is obviously happening in real life situation, but actually impacting on risky behaviours online. It seems that children and young people are actually self-harming in real time, but posting those video clips online. And you know, not only is it detrimental to their well-being at the moment, at this moment in time, but also in the future, I'm guessing, because if they're identifying who they are and leaving that trail, I'm guessing that maybe this might impact on their future employment.
Absolutely. I mean, employers being much more careful these days and are actually checking out things like Facebook, Twitter, to see what young people are actually saying about themselves. So it could be something that stops a young person getting into it.
Yeah. Thanks ever so much. Thank you.